Woohoo! I'm here! Okay, guys, I apologize for any of you that saw my live stream pop up a few minutes ago and saw me like walking around my room like an idiot. I didn't know I was live already. This is my first time doing this, so I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, so that was your little comedic thing for the night. So yeah, awesome. Here I am. Tonight, I'm going to be reading a couple of creepypasta stories, and yeah, that's about it, I guess. Unless you guys have comments or questions, feel free to put those in the chat. I have no idea if the chat is working at this point, because YouTube kind of... I mean, I'm new to this, but YouTube is kind of not letting me know if things are working. It does say I'm live, though, so here we go. Oh, my friend Andy just texted me and said I'm live, so woohoo! Okay, so let's see. The first story I have is from Reddit, of course, and it is from the Reddit user Hack Shook, and that's the person that wrote it. And it's called Grandma's Shiny Pennies in My Pockets for Luck. So here we go. Okay. On every special day when I was growing up, my grandma would always place a few shiny pennies inside my coat pockets for luck. It's an English tradition, I think. Every birthday or clarinet recital or Saints' Day parade, my mom would send me to Grandma's house so Grandma could drop the coins into my pockets. They weren't worth more than maybe a comic book, but the kindly gesture always added to the excitement of the important events in my young life. Sadly, my grandma passed away when I was 8, but to my surprise, I still find shiny pennies inside my pockets on every special occasion. I never told my mom. I figured that Grandma was still giving me her blessings from heaven. And I wanted it to be mine and Grandma's secret anyway. Grandma was a secretive sort of person who spoke in odd homilies like, "A stitch in time saves not." Here I go. So Grandma spoke odd homilies like, "A stitch in time saves 9." And she'd wink, and I'd know everything would always be alright. Of course, as I grew older, I suspected that it was my mom who was secretly slipping me the pennies, as she knew how dearly I loved my grandma. But then my mom died suddenly when I was 17, and the pennies continued to appear. I found pennies when I passed my driving test, and when I started my first job. These pennies helped me through a tough time, as all I'd ever had was my mom and grandma, us girls against the world. But when I met Jake, the pennies suddenly stopped. Every big day passed by, from our first date to our wedding day, with none of Grandma's pennies to mark the occasion. I became tearful on the night Jake proposed, while we sat in his car eating drive-thru food. So Jake asked what the hell I was crying about. I told him about Grandma's pennies, and he laughed his ass off, suggesting that the dead old sow must need all her pennies, as there ain't no pension in hell. I was inconsolable, so desperate I felt to receive Grandma's blessing. On the big day, I wore a jacket with pockets, in case Grandma decided to put some pennies inside, over my smartest blouse, as Jake had refused to waste good money on a wedding dress. I cried the entire bus ride to the chapel. "Oh, Grandma," I sobbed. "Please see the good in Jake. He'll provide for me as soon as his death metal band gets signed by Sony Music or EMI. Really? But still, my pockets were empty. Jake seemed badly hungover that day. He staggered, bloated and sputtering, down the aisle and choked as he was supposed to say, "I do." He clutched his throat, turning purple, and to everyone's shock, coughed up a volcano of shiny pennies. His body jangled as if stuffed full of loose change, and he fell down dead, a penny over each eye. and amidst the screams and the panic, I noticed a single shiny penny somehow land right inside my pocket for luck. So that is a pretty cool story. I found that on Reddit. I forgot to even tell you guys which subreddit I found it in. It's the Short Scary Stories subreddit. And normally I get my stories from nosleep. But, oh hey, Andy's here. Yep, Jake stealing the pennies. Yeah, it had a pretty neat twist at the end, so I like that story. Let's see, I have another one. So, I don't know, you guys, I'm thinking of doing something like this more often, just like a live storytelling, because I know there's not a lot of narrators that do that. I think the Dark Somnium does it once in a while, but other than that, I don't really know of anybody that's doing, like, live storytelling. So I thought, I don't know, I'll just start it, and maybe people will watch, I don't know. But if you guys would like me to do that more often, definitely comment down below or say it in the chat or give me a thumbs up or something so I know, because this is kind of fun. I'd like to do this more often. Let's see here. So this next story I did find on Reddit nosleep, and it's pretty interesting. What's the most interesting about it is the message that I received from the author after I asked for permission to read it. So I'll tell you guys that after I read this. So here we go. This one is written by user RetiredForHire. And the story is called They're Trying to Take My Daughter. And if you guys can't hear me, let me know, or if I'm too loud too. I have no idea what I'm doing in this song. Just let me know. Hey, Jess. Okay, here we go. I'm not the best mother in the world. I have to work long hours, which I believe prevents me from being the best mom in the world. My 15-month-old daughter is all I have. My husband left me after my third overdose and kicked me out of the house. I scraped together the funds to buy my own little place. It's nothing to brag about, but it's home. It's where my little Kaylee is. She's my world, and I want to be the mother she needs. My husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, is filling out the paperwork for divorce. There's a real shot he'll get custody as well, seeing as I was released from jail only about 6 months ago. Girl. I'll be labeled unfit, irresponsible, and every other name in the book. Kaylee is my little angel that gives me the motivation to get out of bed in the morning. I just bought her a beautiful white dress, as immaculate as she is. Her blue eyes will shine when she wears this. I bet she'll be wearing it for years. I want this house to be our house forever. I want to live here with her until I pass away and let her watch over it once I'm gone. However, I received letters saying that if I win custody over her, she'll be taken away by the state. After that, she'll most likely be given to her father, so she won't bounce around in foster care. It's a tough world. Children being taken away from parents is terrible. I don't want her to live in a world where that happens to her. I've called a local lawyer and asked for free consultation. He tried telling me some of the best plans of action to prove that I'll be a great mother. Unfortunately, I don't have the time nor the means to acquire the evidence. I'm trying to push back court dates, but my ex is insistent on getting it over with as soon as possible. He's got all the good cards in his hand. Not only are the odds stacked in his favor with a clean history, but I don't have the money for a lawyer. I've been working 16-hour days trying to make enough. I did take the past few days off. I wanted to spend as much time with Kaylee as I could. The stress is killing me. I've been overburdened, combined with my high blood pressure and heart problems. I'm a ticking time bomb. I can't stand to leave Kaylee, though. She's too young to lose her mama. Mama is one of the only words she knew. I won't give Kaylee up. They'll have to pry her from my cold, dead hands. That is, if they find her. I hope they give up after digging 6 feet. I could only dig about 9 feet down before I ran out of energy. Anyways, I'll have more work to do if I'm going to dig a big enough grave for myself next to hers. I couldn't let them take her from me, and now they can't. Ooh, that ending though. I really liked that story when I first read it. So, what'd you guys think about that one? Oh, good, you can hear me. I'm trying not to look at the chat while I'm reading because I don't want to like stop the story mid-sentence or something. I want you guys to get the full experience of the storytelling. Okay, so what is interesting about this story I just read is I always message the writer or the user, whoever wrote it. Yeah, poor Kaylee. I always message them and ask for permission before I read it. And so I asked this person for permission, and if I can find the message, she or he messaged me back and said, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Go ahead." And let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I asked for permission, and the author responded and said, "Sure thing. Thanks for asking." And then I said, "Awesome. Thank you. I'll send you a link once it's posted or when it's live or whatever. It should be within the next couple weeks." And then the person responded, "Won't be around for it, sadly. Just finished digging. I wish you all the luck in the world." Like, what? So was this real? Like, I have no idea. So I know, especially on nosleep, which I think, yeah, this is where the story was. You're on Reddit nosleep, you're supposed to treat the story like it's real. So I don't know if that's the author just trying to really make it like it's real and even convince me that it's real, or was this really real? Because if it was, I mean, I don't know what. I didn't respond because I was like, what do you even say to that? Yeah, what do you even respond with? I was like, should I be generally concerned, or should I just? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? So, yeah, that was pretty crazy. Let me see here. Oh wow. Oh damn. Yeah. Yeah, that story was pretty crazy. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm probably gonna hop off because I'm just still getting used to this. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but let's see. Is there a missing kids report for a Kaylee? Yeah, I probably should check that out. Yeah, that was... I mean, you would think if somebody was really doing something like that, why would they post it online? But, yeah, I mean, you never know these days. I don't know. People crazy. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it could be real. Who knows? But, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. I may end up responding to that person, see if they respond back, see if she's still alive. If it was real, that's kind of horrible. In the meantime, I'm gonna read one more, like I said, and then I think I'll hop off of here. I appreciate you guys that have come and watched. I honestly didn't think anybody would. I really appreciate Andy, or Dislike All as he is in the chat there, because he's the one that messaged me when I was live the first time and said hey, you're live, right? And I was like, no. So I am a newbie YouTuber, that's for sure. I live down the road from a haunted bed and breakfast. I'm always asking them for updates. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I need to look into because I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and I've heard Memphis is really haunted. But I've only lived here a few years, and I would like to do some kind of investigating and stuff like that. I know they have ghost tours downtown Memphis, but yeah, I'll have to look into doing that. Maybe like doing a vlog or something and putting that on here. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really interested in creepy stuff. I always have been, especially ghost stories and things like that. So anything paranormal. Probably just a scary pasta. Yeah, I think that story probably was just a creepy pasta, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this next one is called My Fear of Flying, and it is posted in Reddit nosleep, and it's by the user Please Don't Turn Around is the user, so should I be afraid to turn around? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but I've got like toys and stuff behind me and games and stuff like that, so yes, Elvis definitely haunts Memphis. I've been to Graceland recently and it's pretty awesome out there, but yeah, I'm sure, you know, it's the common knowledge around Memphis that Elvis is still alive, so, you know, everybody just knows that. Oh, you're in South Louisiana. Cool. Yeah, I have never been there. I've been wanting to go to Louisiana, or at least go to, oh, good grief. There's somewhere someone was telling me recently, I can't remember now, somewhere in New Orleans that's like pretty haunted. Or maybe it's just like New Orleans in general is really haunted. I don't know. But, yeah, I'll have to do that sometime. Okay, so My Fear of Flying, posted by Please Don't Turn Around. And here we go. Okay. So I developed my fear of flying as I got older. FOF, as I call it. Every time before I fly, without fail, I get anxiety. A nervousness plunges my body into total collapse. It's like an evil supervillain zapped me with an energy ball that affects everything. I'm not my usual confident self. Instead, I'm queasy and my stomach feels ill. Unfortunately, I have to fly a lot. When I was younger, I was about to board my first ever plane when this old gypsy woman stood up. She screamed out, "I've seen the future. If you get on this plane, you're going to die." She was taken away by security, but left those of us boarding with such intense fear. I was 6 and with my mom at the time, so I didn't have a choice. She didn't believe in mediums or psychics, and she made me get on that plane anyway. Whew, that's awful. I spent the whole flight terrified, looking out the window, feeling that every time the plane shook was going to be the end. Someone once looked at me in shock when I told them I have a fear of flying. They couldn't understand it. While most people know planes crash, not so many are aware of the constant and frequent near misses. About half the crashes are due to pilot or air traffic control error. The deadliest crash in the world was in Tenerife, I think that is, an island off of Spain. A plane had flown for hours from New York and landed. It was foggy, and another aircraft attempted to make a takeoff, not realizing the runway wasn't clear. The result was that 583 people died. Most people know that the first 5 minutes of takeoff and the 5 minutes before landing are the deadliest. Why? It's because a human is involved. After that, most planes switch to autopilot. I guess so. I hate flying at night or when it's pouring rain and you can't see anything through the window. You're in a tube and so high up in the sky that really if anything goes wrong, there's little you can do about it. After plane disasters, you hear of officials looking for the aircraft's black box. The black box is the plane's flight recorder that is built to withstand even explosions. People ask why planes can't be built of the same material, which is titanium, that black boxes are made of. The simple answer is that it would be too heavy to fly. Disappearances scare me too. Planes have vanished from the sky for a long time, often without any trace. In 2014, a Malaysian plane went missing with 239 people on board. The most notorious spot for disappearances is over the Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle. That's one area I hate flying over. It's not only planes, of course. but boats too that have entirely vanished. Before I fly and my nerves set in, I usually race to the bathroom. The longest I ever stayed looking at myself in the mirror was 2 hours. Whew. I think that's an additional fear of mine, being in a bathroom, in the plane, and having the plane go down. I imagine myself in there constantly turning upside down with the water rushing out of the toilet. That's an interesting fear. Okay. I often need to tell myself that the plane isn't going to crash. That's what I say under my breath every time I board the plane. This plane isn't going to crash. This plane isn't going to crash. This plane isn't going to crash. I know my saying it won't truly make any difference, but I do it anyway. I don't like drinking alcohol, but it helps. Right now, as I'm on the way to the airport, I know I've already had too much, as this page is spinning. But I can't help drinking. I never liked the taste of alcohol, but about a year ago, I thought I'd just have a quick one that would take the edge off. That one increased in size quickly, so now I average around 8 drinks before any flight. Eey. I take mints with me everywhere, as they'll kick you off a plane if they think you're drunk. I would say I've flown about 15 flights where I can't remember how I even got to the plane or how I even got to my destination. There have been about 10 times when I started drinking and then woke up in a foreign country. My heart is beating really fast again. I just went through security and I'm heading towards the gate. I went to the bathroom and had a few more shots. I just stood up and I can't walk very well. I'm flying today from New York to Los Angeles. It's only 5 hours, about 300 passengers, a mix of tourists, families, and randoms. If I can get onto the plane after the first 5 minutes, I should be okay. The plane isn't going to crash. It's not going to crash. Please don't crash. I took about 10 minutes and made it into the cockpit first. I have to go now, as the plane won't fly itself, at least until we're on autopilot. God, I hope I can make it until then. Woo! Did you guys get the twist? Oh man, that one's a little bit longer, but the ending, I was like, okay, so this guy's afraid of flying, like, okay, so what? Like, how is this creepy? And then when I got to the end, I was like, oh, maybe because he's the pilot. That's why it's kind of, I would not want that guy to be my pilot. Oh, let's see here. What are you guys talking about? North Carolina? Oh, okay, cool, Andy. I can't remember if you told me that already or not. That's cool. My uncle used to live in North Carolina, and then he just recently moved to Memphis, so I'm glad to have him here. In New Orleans, they'll put signs out saying not haunted or for rent signs because so many people are afraid. Oh, that's sad. Wow. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. Yep. The pilot is drunk driving or drunk flying, I guess if you want to call it that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a creepy story. So anyway, I think I'm gonna stop here, but I appreciate you guys for coming out and listening to me, and I'm gonna try to do this a little bit more often. Let's see, I've been streaming for about 25 minutes, I guess, so it goes by really fast. Anyway, yeah, so I might do this more often. I don't know, I might do it like every Friday night or every other Friday night or something. Just whatever works for people, but it's just fun. It's interactive, which is what I like, because it's nice to post videos and people comment and stuff like that, but it's, I get on other people's live streams a lot because I really like to interact with them and I like to interact with their subscribers, and so I was like, why don't I try that? I guess I can try that. I've got a small audience, but it still might be fun. So thanks Jess, and thanks Andy. I really appreciate you guys. And Yeah, it did go by very fast. So, I might try this again next Friday. We'll see, because I'm going out of town next week. I'm actually going to Vegas. So, I have in-laws out there. But, I might live stream while I'm there. I might not, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and have a great night. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can figure out how to end this thing. Oh, I tell you, I am not the best at this. Okay, I found it. Bye, guys.